Hi guys, hope you're doing really well. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the lighting in here so it's not so bad, but I had somebody ask me to make a video on how to deal with triggers if you have gotten out of or getting out of a narcissistically abusive relationship. It's very common for you to get triggered, which is very true. Those of you who've been in one of these toxic relationships, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So one way to sort of deal with these triggers or the emotional flashbacks is to recognize when you are triggered and to say out loud, oh, I am triggered right now. I'm in a triggered state right now. I'm feeling, my fight, flight, freeze, fawn response is kicking in and I'm triggered. And, your brain will tend to start perseverating, ruminating. You might be flooded with feelings of anger or grief or shut down where you feel like you can't face it, or it may be like massive anxiety and panic. It sort of depends upon, what sort of trauma response that you go into. So obviously the first thing you can do to deal with triggers is, like, on a very basic level, is to avoid them, right? So in order to avoid what is triggering you, it's really important that you know what that is. So what I did is I got a large whiteboard, and what I would do on the whiteboard is I would start writing down, when I was triggered, so I could start recognizing, oh, I'm triggered right now. These are my triggers. My triggers were like getting an email from the qualifier, or getting an email from the qualifier's attorney, or driving down the street where I used to live. Like, these were some of my triggers. Hearing from one of the flying monkeys, one of the family members who was participating in enabling abusive behavior, right? The flying monkeys. So if I heard from one of those people, then I would get triggered. If I heard from the attorney, I would get triggered. So very important, and that was a couple years back. I haven't been triggered in quite a while, but not severely anyway. But so, like, the triggering one, you want to avoid being triggered. And so that is one of the reasons why no contact is so important. No contact is not really about them at all. It's really about you and your healing. So no contact means you do not get text messages from them. It doesn't just mean that you don't respond. It means you don't get the incoming stimuli. You don't get emails from them because you have blocked them on everything. You do not get text messages or emails or calls from the flying monkeys. Flying monkeys, if they know that this person is toxic and they're going along with them, then of course that's horrific. If they don't know and they're still participating in enabling abuse, either way, they're enabling abuse. And these are not people that you want in your life. They are not people who are on the path of decency and kindness. They're just not. So you don't want flying monkeys in your life. You don't want to be triggered by people that are participating in enabling and encouraging abusive behaviors. So get rid of the flying monkeys. No contact with them. Get no contact with the qualifier. Very important. Do not look at their social media. This is like a gun to the head. If you look at their social media, it's going to be awful for you. You're going to be traumatized. If you look at their affair partner's social media, or their next source of supplies social media, or the person that they left you for, it's going to be very triggering for you. So avoid absolutely no contact in terms of any social media, in terms of any, stimuli from these people. They kind of have to be dead to you. Like, they have to be dead to you. So they are a non-person. You need to block them on everything. And again, it's not about them. It's not about punishing them. It really isn't. It's just the way that you're going to start healing when you go no contact. It's huge. If you have to co-parent with one of these people, you can install a third-party app for arranging transportation and pickups and drop-offs. Also, if you're divorcing one of these people, you can ask a friend. You can set up an email account that's completely, very specific to only that sort of communication. And you can have, a friend or a therapist or a family member, somebody that's neutral, screen the information that comes into that and let you know if there's anything that you need to do, right? So this is it's the way to keep yourself protected. Let's see. And then, so let's get back to in the triggered. So obviously avoiding the triggers, do the whiteboard and avoid the triggers. But then you want to get to a place where you're able to recognize that you may be triggered. And if you get triggered, you need to be able to manage the trigger. So self-talk, it's huge. Say to yourself, right now I'm in a triggered state. And you can say out loud, I need to calm myself down. I need to calm down my nervous system. I might feel unsafe right now, but I'm actually safe. I'm safe. I am going to protect myself. I am secure and I'm going to take care of myself. There's some other things you can do in terms of soothing. So you can do some deep breathing. You can do a warm bath. You can take a cool shower. You can go for a run, exercise, go for a walk. You can some people use a weighted blanket. It's going to totally depend upon what is best for you. You can do grounding techniques to bring yourself back into your body and out of the disassociation, out of the perseverations, the ruminations. Basically, your brain has been hijacked, your nervous system has been hijacked, and it's really important that you bring yourself back into your body. Some people will use a rubber band. They'll use a rubber band to snap their wrist. Some people will do where you clench your muscles and then release them. Deep breathing is huge. Breathe in. Just try that. Calm down your nervous system. Very important. You can do a lot of processing of this trigger. And I think there's Tara Brach talks about RAIN. I love this. It's recognize, accept or acknowledge, investigate, and nurture. Okay, recognize. What am I feeling? When you're in that flashback, when you're triggered, you can say to yourself, after you do some techniques, some breathing techniques, just first of all, I'm triggered. I'm in a triggered state. I need to calm myself down. I need to calm my body down. I need to calm my nervous system down. Calm your body down, calm your nervous system down. The brain will follow, right? So I'm safe now. I will protect myself. I'm going to keep myself safe. I'm lovable. I'm worthy. I'm going to nurture myself, take care of myself. I'm going to give myself lots of love. I'm going to give myself a hug. That's another thing you can do. You can actually you can hug yourself. It's amazing. It actually feels really good. It's just wonderful. Try it. So then practice RAIN. Recognize, what is the feeling? Okay, I'm triggered right now. I'm really angry. I'm starting to ruminate about the narcissist. I'm feeling a lot of anger. Well, okay, I acknowledge I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm triggered, I'm feeling really awful feelings. Acknowledge I'm having some anger right now. Investigate. Why am I angry? Well, I'm angry because I'm really feeling a lot of grief and sadness because this relationship that I thought I had wasn't real. It was fake. This person that I thought I loved was a fake, piece of paper mache, and I'm really actually suffering a lot of grief and loss over that. I'm actually really sad. There's a lot of loss there. There's a lot of sadness there, right? So often anger, I think of anger as the primitive emotion. It's the one that kind of keeps you safe. If you're angry, then you're going to stay safe. But what's behind the anger, and quite often what's behind the anger is it can be grief, it can be sadness, it can be fear, it can be another emotion. So get in touch with that, And it can really help you to, sort of recognize that this person, they weren't capable of loving, and it's not because of you. It's not because you're not lovable. It's actually not personal. I mean, I know it feels really, really personal, but it really isn't. That person's inability to bond, connect, tell the truth, be their authentic self, be real, all of that has nothing to do with you. That has to do with their own mental illness, right? And it doesn't, because they couldn't love you, that doesn't mean that you're not lovable, right? It's their own demons that they are fighting or choosing not to fight. So, recognize, acknowledge, accept, investigate, what's behind the feelings. What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? And kind of get down to the root of it. And then Tara Brach talks about nurture, How can I nurture? I can go for a run. I can go for a bike ride. I can call a loving, kind friend. I can go take a shower. I can go sit in the hot tub. I can go take a warm bath. I can do some grounding techniques. I can come back into my body. I can do downward facing dog. I can do, some sort of somatic work to come back into my body. So, nurture. I can make myself a cup of tea. I can listen to a guided meditation to help heal narcissistic abuse. I can listen to a guided meditation or guided mantras for positive self-talk. So, that's some of the things you can do to nurture or soothe yourself so you come back into a regulated state. Because, when we're dysregulated, that's when we, start, we can feed the beast. We get dysregulated and then, we act in inappropriate ways, or we just keep feeding it and ruminating and perseverating. And it's your job to stop it. To stop the trigger, to stop the ruminations and to change course. You're on this course and you might have to, you start getting off and you may have to course correct, right? You may have to bring yourself back into your body, into the present moment, into the right now, and say to yourself, I am safe. I am lovable. I am worthy. I, will no longer go. I'm not going to go to somebody for empathy who has none. I'm not going to go to somebody for kindness and compassion who has none. Though if you were with a narcissist, they don't have much of that, if any. They don't really have compassion or empathy or remorse or guilt. And so you've got to stop trying to go to that person for those things. There are a lot of people in this world that have a lot of kindness, that have a lot of compassion, that have a lot of empathy. Connect with those people. Have those people in your sort of spiritual group. Kind people that have empathy, that are decent, that are honest, that are trying to live a life of integrity. None of us do it perfectly, but I hope this helps you to, help to recognize when you're triggered and to help manage those triggers. Thank you so much, and I hope you're doing really well. Bye-bye.